Oh yeah. Whew. Uh-oh. 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 Now, here's a. All right, try not to spin it too much. But so you notice that I'm ambidextrous now. I can throw and catch with either hand and throw. So that's the great thing about proprioception. Hello guys, this is David and I am here at Casino Quest in Las Vegas. And we have a brand new site called VegasTycoon.com and a new YouTube channel. And if you're watching this, you're watching that YouTube channel. And I want you to know that being a Vegas Tycoon is not all it's cracked up to be all the time. So we have, as you know, a dealer school here in town, and we have Casino Quest on the Strip. And the way we stay in shape, the way we stay engaged, the way we manage those businesses is by working out, staying healthy, avoiding alcohol, drugs, these kinds of things. For many years now, I've been actively working out and utilizing a very unique type of workout that I started many, many years ago. So I'm going to introduce 3 concepts. And before I get there, let me just say this. I am 52 years old. I've never experienced any kind of muscle injuries. I've been involved in an accident, and so I developed a neurological condition. I was in a wheelchair for a couple of years, a very difficult point in my life, and I used this routine to get out of my wheelchair and improve my life, get connected. Eventually I met Alex, and so the whole Vegas and CEG dealer school, Vegas Tycoon story. But at 52 years old, you're going to see me do things above and beyond my age bracket. And I'm going to introduce you to concepts that focus on quality of life. That's the goal. I want to improve people's quality of life. I'm not all about, having big muscles. If you want to go to the gym, you want to be a bodybuilder, and there's lots of channels that help you with that as far as sports nutrition, those kinds of things. What I want to do is I want to improve your ability to move. I want to reduce the downtime that you have as you get older. I want to improve your quality of life. I want to help you, move easier. I want to help you avoid injury. I want to give you longevity. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. That's what David's doing. And I want you to have a lot of fun doing it because we have a lot of fun at the gym. And for those of you that have seen us at the gym, we use a couple different basic things. We use a stability ball. We use balls like this. We use drinks that have a lid on them that we throw to each other. And we use Bosu balls or half balls, they're called, this type of thing. And we have a lot of fun while staying in shape. If you've seen Dennis's abs, he got those abs doing this kind of workout. So you can absolutely develop muscles and strength and coordination. And ultimately, you'll be able to move faster. You'll be able to avoid injury. Even later in life, I am living proof that this type of workout is fantastic. And I hope you join our team on this sort of journey that we're going to be in. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you to 3 terms that are going to play a big role in our workouts in the future. So the first big term is proprioception. And proprioception is basically your body's ability to move, the way that your whole body connects to stay balanced, to coordinate, to tell itself what to do, and to stay erect. So if you didn't have proprioception, you couldn't walk, you couldn't move forward. I wouldn't be able to move my hand. Now, for some people, proprioceptive movements break down as they get older. They're less able to move through different planes. The proprioceptive ability of our body decreases. We're not able to reach up. We can't extend our arms. Maybe we lose our balance. These are all parts of proprioception. The next term I'm going to introduce is the kinetic chain. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the body's natural movements, okay, throughout the kinetic chain. And that's sort of how our body is connected, how we move smoothly and fluently, how we make connections with a soccer ball and we push off and we work through our kinetic chain. If you didn't know, the calf muscles engage. Our kinetic chain, even when we're sitting down, for example, and we go to pick up a fork, our calf muscles actually engage because it's all part of the kinetic chain. It's all part of how our muscles, our legs, our joints are connected. Even the slightest movements, even moving our neck or tilting our head upward involves lots of other movement, lots of coordination throughout our body. The next area I'm going to introduce you to is planes of motion. So planes of motion, it's a critical component of our life, our quality of life. So here's what happens. We have 3 basic planes of motion. We have a frontal plane that's right in front of us, okay? As we do this, I'm I'm coordinating my body across the frontal plane. We have a sagittal plane, which is front and back, okay? Movements front and back, that's the sagittal plane. We also have a transversal plane as we coordinate around. This is movements that are sort of around and about our body. That's the transversal plane. So if you can imagine a soccer player moving up and down a soccer field, right, is forced to sort of engage all these planes of motion. So as we're young, our body connects, our neuromuscular system connects all these planes of motion, and we're alive and we're moving. And we can move that way because we're alive and we're moving, we're engaging all of our planes of motion. As we get older, we limit our movements. We limit our planes of motion. So instead of moving transversely, instead of moving back and forth across the frontal plane, we start just moving the sagittal plane. We move front and back. And instead of moving faster, we start moving slower. And so what happens is our neuromuscular system begins to break down those neurons that connect and tell our brain and keep us alive and keep us in movement, start to break down. And our quality of life deteriorates. You ever wonder when you go to reach down, those of us a little older, and our back gets thrown out because we're just reaching down to pick up a piece of paper off the ground. You know why? Because we've engaged a range of motion that our body has sort of shut down. We've like eliminated that. That's no longer an option. And when we try to engage, our entire kinetic chain and our proprioceptive ability that plays a role is sort of broken down in the process. And this is what affects our quality of life as humans, just as in normal movement, in normal space. And so I want to improve that for you. I want to show what you can do because we are going to work all of our planes of motion. We're going to improve our kinetic chain, and we're going to explore all these areas. And then we're going to improve our proprioceptive abilities. It's a stunning thing. For those of you who are sort of locked in a chair, maybe you'll be able to stand up. For those of you who have noticed that your reflexes have slowed down, they will speed up. For those of you that play soccer, just improving your proprioception, improving your core and range of motions will help you navigate drilling a soccer ball, hitting the ball into the net. You'll be able to improve your dexterity and the ability of your whole body to react in cycles. So while this little ball is just a little ball, it also represents everything you do in space. And when I say space, I mean the things around us in the world. When you open your car door, you throw dice, because I'm here at Casino Quest, whenever you throw dice. Or you play a ball with your grandson, whatever you do. This is about improving your ability to move, improving your ability to act, reducing the negative and the side effects that come from gravity and so forth and so on. So that is the journey that we're on. And I'm gonna teach you step by step how we're going to improve all three of those components and put them together to improve our quality of life. Now we're going to show you a few exercises today, and thank you so much. We'll see you on the ball in a second. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to introduce you to the very beginning of planes of motion. We want to turn on all the neuromuscular receptors that maybe are either slowing down or have literally shut themselves off. So to do that, I'm going to introduce the most basic of movements, okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to stand. We're going to start introducing the kinetic chain, okay? So our natural body stance is we're going to point our toes forward, heels in back, and our toes are going to be aligned with our shoulders, okay? We're not going to turn our toes out. So we do these types of things, right, organically, because we're compensating for a loss of balance. But because we want to train our kinetic chain and we want to improve our proprioception, we are going to have our toes forward, heels back, everything aligned. We're going to sit in our knees and our hips, okay? We're going to be nice and relaxed, all right? We're not going to extend our knees. We're not going to lock our knees or anything like that. We're going to be nice and relaxed. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do a very basic exercise. And again, we're going to engage all those planes of motion. It seems very simple, but for many of you, it's going to take a minute. So be patient. I have Dennis here. Now, I've been training with Dennis for about 8 months, a year?
A year.
Almost a year now, okay? So he's sort of leveled up. And what I want you to do is we're going to put our toe in front, and we're going to bend our toe into our body as much as possible. Now we're going to slowly move our heel forward. All we're going to do is 10. We're going to do 10. Now, the reason we're doing this is we're engaging a few things. So first, we're improving our sagittal plane. Okay, this is obviously the same sagittal plane, all right? But we're also making our center smaller. We're forcing ourselves to engage and gain balance. And for many of you, just doing this heel to toe is not going to be easy. But what I want you to keep in mind is this. If for whatever reason you fall over while doing this, I want you to reset. I want you to go back to the very beginning and start over, okay? I don't want you to just fall and lift up your leg. I want you to go back to here and reset. I want your body to start getting to this sort of autonomous memory, okay, so that it can work on its own. It automatically resets, recharges, and then we move forward heel to toe, forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? Then you're gonna put your foot down, okay? Now there's certain levels to this. This is just level 1, okay? This is just entry level. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a frontal plane. We're now going to move our foot up a few inches, maybe an inch or half an inch off the floor, and we're going to move our foot out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, at any time, if you fall over, that's fine, okay? Because remember, we're improving our proprioception, our balance, our power from balance, our body's ability to sense movement and stay in control of itself. So we're going to fall over. It looks easy, but some of you it's going to fall over. That's fine. I want you to reset. I don't want you to just lift up your leg and try to keep doing the exercise. I want you to reset completely and start over, okay? Start over. Trust me on this. As we evolve, it'll make more sense, okay? So we're just going to do 10. Now you notice when Dennis is doing this, he's bringing his hands in. Because as we bring our hands in, we're limiting our center. When our hands are out like this, we're compensating for lack of balance. The more we're able to bring our hands in and relax, that means that our center, our core is getting stronger and we're improving our balance and we're improving our proprioception, okay? So we're gonna do this, 10, okay. Then we're gonna stop again, all right? We're gonna set up in our kinetic chain, we're gonna set up in our proper stance, all right? And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move our toe behind our heel, okay? We're going to lean forward a little bit, try to bring in your hands if you can, and then we're going to kick out our toe. And again, we're going to do 10 of these, okay, as well. Fantastic job. And then once we're done with 10, we're going to reset, okay? Now we're going to do a transversal movement, all right? This is going to be the last movement and the hardest movement for many people to complete. And again, what I want you to do is if you should fall over and have to reset, just reset. That's the key. So if you fall over, whatever the case, that's fine. Just reset and start over. So to do that, again, we're going to lift our foot off the ground about a half an inch, and we're going to move our foot past our leg. We need to break this plane, okay? So we need to go past the center of our body and move this heel here. Now remember, you see how my leg and his leg is staying very straight? We're not falling over, hopefully. And if you have to put your hands out, that's okay. At first, you're going to be doing a little bit of this to compensate for lack of balance or poor proprioception, right? But eventually, we're going to be able to keep our hands in. Now, you notice me and Dennis here, we can move our leg all the way about without shaking, without losing balance. Many of you won't be able to do this for a while, but this is the test. Later on, we're going to test ourselves and see how strong we are through all these planes of motion. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to break this plane. Okay, eyes forward, shoulders forward, the leg, okay? We're going to bend that toe in, dorsal flexion. We're going to bend that toe in, okay? And we're going to move this around, and then we're going to go all shift, and then we're going to move this behind, and again, we're going to break that plane. So this toe, okay, this toe is out behind his leg, you see? All right, now we're going to do 10 of those. And if we fall over, we're going to reset. Okay, we're going to reset. This is one of the simplest yet strongest exercises to improve balance and start working on our core, strengthening our core, okay? So again, if you should fall over, I know I keep stressing it, but I want you to reset, okay, and refocus, all right? So we're just going to do 10 of those, and then we're going to reset. Now, that's going to be day 1. For some of you, that's going to be day 3, day 4, day 5. You're going to do 10, and then you're going to reset. As soon as possible, what I want you to do is I want you to go through the entire routine without stopping, with your leg completely off the floor the whole time, without ever having to rest or reset. So we're going to do 10 here, okay? We're going to do 10 here, all right? We're going to do 10 behind. We're going to do 10 transversally, okay? and then we're just gonna reset to the kinetic chain. And now, we're gonna do that for both sides, of course, okay? Both sides, right? 10, okay? We're gonna do 10, right? We're gonna do 10, 10 transversely and reset, all right? So once we can get through 10 of each one, all right, with each leg, guess what? We're gonna do 20, and then we're gonna do 30. And then I'm gonna show you the transition to moving your knee high and literally strengthening and starting to move the planes and move your center into the center. Here's an interesting thing that happens to a lot of us as we grow older. We gain weaknesses in opposition of our strengths. So for example, if your left arm is weak, it's going to be your right arm that's stronger. We start building ourselves out. We lose our ability to use both hands. We lose our ability to be dexterous with more than one limb because we constantly sort of focusing on this one limb. We end up with a dominant hand or a dominant leg, and then the other arm or the other leg, right, gets weak. And that's how we limp, and that's how we get this weird gait. You know, we walk over or we lean over, and this is what happens as we get older. And again, it affects our quality of life, okay? We're going to eliminate all that. We're going to improve your ambidexterity, okay? We're going to improve your entire body all the way around. So here's the evolution of this. We're going to get through all these different things without having to move, all these planes of motion, and then we're going to move our knee up into our body, okay? And then we're going to be able to move our knee out, straight out from our body, and then kick out, right? Without ever having to reset, without our body shaking, and then we're able to move in, okay? And then we can move out and move in. Now we've worked out already today, so a little tired, but to be able to move out and move in, all right? And have complete range of motion, healthy range of motion, okay? All right, so that is exercise number 1. And then we're going to show you how to work on the ball and balance next. All right, guys, welcome back. Now we're going to start improving balance and core, okay, specifically. So we're sort of off range of motion. Now we're really focused on the kinetic chain and your proprioceptive ability of your body. So what we're going to do is the first thing we need to do is this is a 55 centimeter stability ball. It's a basic ball. It's a ball that has these lines and it has a bit of friction on it because we're going to be using these balls a lot. You have to make sure if you buy one of these balls, it has a bit of friction, all right? So you won't slip off the ball because we're not just going to be, you know, leaning on it or pushing off of it. We're literally going to be working all around, up and down, across and over this ball. So Dennis here is going to, first thing we're going to do is we got to sit on the ball correctly. And what we want to do is we want to sit center mass of the ball. We want to focus our kinetic chain. We want to put our toes forward, okay? And as much as possible, we want to bring our hands inside, okay? Shoulders up, nice, rolled back, okay? We don't want to roll our shoulders down. We want to really focus on the form, all right? So what we're going to slowly start to do is Dennis can show you, okay, just lean back for a minute. So Dennis can go back in the ball, not completely back in the ball. I'm going to be able to show you that later, but he's been doing this for a while and we've been improving his ability to kind of let go and his body sense his center and balance. And that is literally the key to perception. So we are challenging his body constantly. And while he's doing this, he's engaging his abs on a ridiculous level. And we're going to show you those as well for the fans. But first of all, here's the thing. Here's how we start on the ball. It's very simple. The first thing we're going to do is, again, we need to square off. It's very important that you square off. You have to work within your kinetic chain. We don't want to go all over the place. That's not the purpose of this, okay? So the first thing we're doing, we're going to lift one knee, lift your right knee up a few inches, and we're going to hold this right here. Now, most of you will experience a bit of stress, okay, doing this exercise. It is not as easy as it looks. You're going to shake. Your leg is going to get tired. You're going to feel the pressure throughout your hip, even your abs, because this exercise, believe it or not, engages quite a few muscles all at once. And because you're working on your center, you're going to shake. Okay, you're going to shake, all right, to get control, because your body, this is going to be a completely new exercise. Your body's not used to this movement. All right. And at the same time, we want to bring our toe up. Okay, we want to bring our toe into our body and then hold this for as long as we can. Not as long as we can. We're going to do 10 seconds and we're going to lower our leg. Okay, now we're going to do 10 seconds on the other leg, okay? And that's really it. okay? While focusing on having our shoulders squared, our hands inside. We don't want to be doing this as much as possible. At first, you may be doing this, but eventually we want to bring our hands inside. When Dennis started this, he had his hands out. He had his hands out to compensate for balance, which is fine. That's what we do. We compensate for balance with our hands. But slowly, we want to focus on bringing those hands inside and reducing our center, okay? We want to strengthen our center, strengthen our core, strengthen our balance, and this is going to help us strengthen our entire kinetic chain while improving our body's proprioceptive abilities, okay? So that's all we're going to do. Now, the goal is, once we can get the left leg, right leg up, is to move both knees up for a period of time. Just like this, that's all you have to do, okay? Get both knees up. Don't risk any damage to your furniture or your head, all right? But we want to get the knees up a couple inches off the ground. Please do not engage, do not do this until you are well practiced doing the left and right one at a time. That's all that you need to do. We want to improve incrementally over time. Little improvements. Every day we're going to look for that one little milestone to move past. That's it. And once we do that, a week from now, months from now, we're going to improve our entire body's ability to react, to move, our entire quality of life, okay? So that's it. That's the whole exercise. Now, get the hell off my ball and let me show you what we're going to do, okay? So eventually, once we've improved our core, we're going to be able to stretch our legs out, right? Move them forward, cross our legs, bring our knees inside into the middle of our core, and throw a ball while we're doing it. Now, or catch weights. Believe it or not, I can catch 10-pound weights on each side of my body without there being too much resistance. I can just catch the weight and my body stays relaxed. I can move all the way out, okay? And again, did I mention I'm 52 years old? We're gonna be on this journey together and improving our quality of life together. All right, thank you guys. That is your introduction to the ball. And to me and to us and to Vegas Tycoon. And I can't wait to see you next time. There's a lot more really fantastic stuff to come. Bye.